Omar Haraz left Lebanon with his family. He returned 3 months later without them. He's still in shock more than a week after surviving a boat accident off the Indonesian coast. Omar still doesn't know if the bodies of his family were among those recovered until DNA tests are completed. All he knows is that he wanted to give them a better life in Australia.
I decided to seek asylum because we were already dead in Lebanon. Here we had to survive the violence and bombings, so we were dying. But it was over there where we died.
The exact number of migrants on the boat is not known, but a significant number were Lebanese. Officials say more than 60.
The Lebanese who were on board the ill-fated vessel hailed from the poorest areas in the north of the country. Many of them lived and worked here in Beni neighborhood. In fact, this used to be Omar's shop before he sold it to pay for the journey to Australia.
It is easy for smuggling networks to lure those who live in poverty, and it is even easier to convince those who live on a front line. Beni is one of them. Here, Lebanese supporters and opponents of the Syrian government have turned their guns on each other, killing and injuring many over the past 2 years.
My brother was a victim of Lebanon's security problems. He left to escape all that. There is no security in this country as long as politicians continue to fight for power.
The Abdul family is just as angry at the authorities. They are waiting for any news about their 23-year-old son Mustafa, who was also on the boat. This is a country with deep political and sectarian divisions that have been worsened by the war in neighboring Syria. The instability has affected the job market.
He had no hope and he was ambitious. He was determined to find a better life. I begged him not to go. He had no future here with the bombings, kidnappings and killings.
Mustafa, in many ways, is a victim of Lebanon's political and security crisis. Officials here called the boat sinking a national tragedy. But Mustafa's father blames them for his own tragedy. Stop fighting each other for power and unite for the sake of our children, he says. This father had one more request for the government: to know if his son is dead or alive and to bring him back either way. Zeina, Khodr, Jazeera, Tripoli, northern Lebanon.